What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Out of the Basement. Today, we are doing our December Blu-ray / DVD update.
A little late on this one.
A little late, but not too late. Of course, I'm Nate. I'm joined with Justin.
What's up, guys?
And Steven.
Howdy.
And we have a metric fuck ton of titles to go through this
Demonetized.
month. So, we've got plenty of boutique Blu-rays, some Criterions, some Scream Factories, some Arrow Videos.
Some 4Ks.
Let's jump right into it. Steven, why don't you show off your DVD picks of the month?
Alright, just one, but I actually found this out in the wild.
Ooh.
That is Drop Dead Fred. This is a Region 2 DVD. Certainly not as expensive on the aftermarket as the Region A. This is notoriously rare on DVD and stuff. And I recently just watched it for the first time recently, and I think it's quickly become one of my favorite movies, period.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a comedy, but it's a thoughtful comedy.
Alright, so I've got 3 DVDs this month that I'll go through real quick. The first one is the Star Wars Trilogy bonus material disc. Found this for 99 cents at the pawn shop. I sold my DVD trilogy a long time ago when I bought the Blu-ray, and I didn't realize the Blu-ray did not have the awesome documentary that's on this. And then Black Xmas, this is the remake of Black Christmas. The Blu-ray is notoriously expensive, so I wanted to revisit this, and I just picked up the DVD. And then finally, I have G Savior the movie, which is the live-action Gundam movie. It's absolutely terrible, but I've been going through a Gundam phase again. I've been rediscovering my love for Gundam. So I found this. It was super cheap, so I thought I'd pick it up. Don't know if I'm ever going to watch it again, though. Might just be for the collection.
Nice. Well, my first pick last month was December, so I have some thematic Blu-rays. First one is Elf, which really isn't up my alley at all. But someone in my life wanted to watch this, and I was like, I don't have it, so I mean, you're gonna have to buy the Blu-ray. So that happened, and then it just ended up in my collection. But I mean, I think it's a good, seasonal every once in a while watch. I do like Will Ferrell, so Elf is my first pick.
Steven, your next pick?
My next pick is another comedy, and it is one of those throwback slip covers from Walmart, and that is Who's Harry Crumb? This is a John Candy movie that I actually haven't seen, and this is its first time on Blu-ray.
Nice.
So I decided to just go ahead and give it a blind buy. I love John Candy, and love the slips, love the throwback slip cover, so it was pretty much a no-brainer. So, Who's Harry Crumb?
Next up, I've got 2 Vestron video releases. The first one is the Wishmaster collection, which we actually watched Wishmaster 1 not too long ago for the first time. Amazing movie. Completely ridiculous. Totally for the die-hard horror fans. This has Wishmaster 1 through 4 on it. And then I also have Dagon, which is a Stuart Gordon film. I haven't seen this in a really long time, but I remember liking it quite a bit when I saw it when I was younger. Of course, it's loosely based on some H.P. Lovecraft stuff, so pretty cool.
All right, my next pick is my other Christmas-themed film, and that is Tom Hanks' The Polar Express. I think this came out in 2005, so I saw this when I was like 10 or 11, and I actually recently learned that it's pretty critically panned. And I remember when it came out that a lot of parents didn't like it or want their children watching it because it has some scary parts. There's dummies or puppets who come to life, and I don't know, I just think it's pretty surreal, and I don't know, I like the soundtrack and everything. But yeah, that is the other little Christmas themed with that. It's from Walmart, they did all those slips. So.
Yeah.
Polar Express.
Never seen it. Steven, next up from you.
Next up is another one of those Walmart slip covers, and that is Happy Birthday to Me.
Nice.
I know this was when it first came out, it got kind of rare for a minute, and now it's back plentiful.
Thankfully.
Mine has the ugly sticker on it, unfortunately. Any Walmart employees watching this, don't do this. Anyways, but haven't seen this movie. I think we all have this now.
Yeah.
But should be a good time.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun. Next up for me is a nice art house film that I'm gonna try and mildly censor here. and that is Possession, which is a nice movie by whatever that guy's name is. I can't pronounce it, but it's got Sam Neill in it. This is a very nice set from Mondo Vision. Finally picked up a copy of this. Really great movie. Not a whole lot to really say because there's a lot going on in that movie. Justin, your next pick?
My next pick is a 4K that I believe, yeah, I got this from Best Buy. That would be Mission Impossible Fallout on 4K. Love the Mission Impossible series. Love the later entries, of course. 3
onward is where it
Ghost
gets good.
Protocol, Rogue Nation, and now Fallout. I really, really enjoyed this one, and I haven't watched it yet, but I am super excited to check out the 4K transfer of this film.
Very nice.
Mission Impossible Fallout.
Steve, your next pick?
My next one is also a 4K, and that is of one of my favorite movies of all time that I could watch anytime, any moment, doesn't matter. The Fast and the Furious.
I like
the
how
original.
They have to specify the original.
Yeah, it's... I don't know what anyone was thinking naming these movies, but it's just gotten worse. I guess because
there's a movie called Fast and Furious.
Yeah, that's the fourth one.
Right, but it's still silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this one, I think, let's see. No, okay, this doesn't have the bonus features on the 4K disc. Only one feature, and that's like the commentary. But love this movie to death. One of my favorite movies of all time. Fast and the Furious on 4K.
Easily the best of the franchise. I'll say it. Next up for me, I'm going to do 2, and these were gifts from my brother Justin. And I haven't got to watch these yet, which is a little upsetting, but you know, what are you going to do? And that is American Animals and First Reformed. Justin, you say you really like both of these movies. You say First Reformed is an 8 movie. It's an A24, so you know I'm in.
Yeah, both of those are on my top 10 for 2018.
Nice. Next up from you, brother.
The next one for me is another film that was on my top 10 for 2018, and that is Blind Spotting. I really like this director's visual style. There's a lot of nice, not over-the-top use of color, like, you know how like a Nicholas Winding Refn film is kind of like over-the-top neon colors. The neon is used minimally. There's some symbolism in this one, and unfortunately they kind of spell it out for you at the end and tell you exactly what the symbolism is. We can think for ourselves every once in a while. It's okay. But I really, really do like this one. There's some dark themes of like police brutality and things like that, and it's pretty funny as well. Make sure that it's not like a depressing movie, but it still handles like a more serious theme to it. And I really, really like this one. We should have a movie boy movie night pretty soon with this one.
I'm down. Your next pick, Bunt?
Next one is the second entry in the Fast and the Furious franchise, and that is Too Fast, Too Furious. And I am looking forward to seeing this, the transfer on this one, because this takes place in Miami. So there's a lot of bright outside shots, a lot of stuff by the water, lots of drone footage, helicopter footage of Miami. So really looking forward to see how this transfer looks. Hopefully it's great. I absolutely love the first 3 Fast and the Furious movies. Yes, Tokyo Drift included. Not so much the later entries. They just get worse and worse as it goes on. But I think the first 3 are certified classics. You know, love these since I was a kid, and can watch them anytime, can quote them anytime. And Too Fast, Too Furious.
Next up for me is a blind buy from Family Video. Haven't got around to watching this yet, but I really do want to watch this, and that is Happy Death Day. Really, what inspired me to pick this up was the trailer for the second movie, which looks absolutely bonkers. So I was like, you know, maybe I'll check this one out. And a lot of people in the horror community also, you know, say that this movie is really not as bad as you'd think. It's kind of in on itself, so curious to check this one out. And then I'll do one more since I have so many. And this is a gift for my good old Bunt. And that is Star Trek Discovery Season 1. Have not gotten around to watching this yet, but I'm very curious about it. I'm a big Star Trek boy, but you know, I wasn't going to subscribe to CBS All Access just to watch fucking Star Trek. So, can't wait to check that out.
Next up for me is Mike's copy of Frankenstein that I purchased from the local mom and pop shop.
Nice.
It ended up being his copy. And this is the original, the classic. And what inspired me to buy this is actually Dead Meat's kill count over it. And I was like, you know, I never really have ever dived into Frankenstein at all, or any of the classic monsters, really. So I thought it'd be interesting to pick up the original. Super short movie.
Yep.
But, I mean, I'm sure I'll love it. So, yeah, it's Frankenstein.
Next up from you, Steve.
The next one is a double that both J-Rick and I have. And that is the Evil Dead 2 4K. I actually don't have the first Evil Dead yet on 4K, but I do plan on picking that one up. But definitely secured Evil Dead 2 on 4K. Haven't watched the transfer yet.
I've seen the transfer on the first one, and it's great. So I'm really hoping that this one is great as well.
Classic.
Yeah, the worst in the trilogy, but still a really good movie.
Yep. Evil Dead 2 on 4K.
Next up for me is a Zavvi exclusive steelbook, and that is The Witch steelbook right here, all the way from across the pond. Let me peel this off right here so I can give you guys a look at the back. There you go. You've got a nice shot of Black Phillip on the back side, and the front is an awesome image of a cross with the light, with the sun, whose name I cannot remember right now, but The Witch
Caleb? Was it Caleb or...
I don't know. I don't know. It's been a minute. But this movie is excellent. Easily one of my favorite A24 movies.
Yeah, for sure.
Curious about this is that this was actually put out by Universal in the UK, it would seem. But this is a region-free release, so if you want to pick this up, it was only like $13 on Zavvi's website, so, you know, get yourself a copy, do yourself a favor. Cool. And I'll do another one just because. Next up is the Target exclusive Game of Thrones, the complete 5th season. My girlfriend and I have been watching Game of Thrones together, and I realized that I only had seasons 1 through 4. So I still needed to get the rest of the series, and I found this on eBay, and it comes with this little bonus disc. It's like a making of the Battle of Hardhome disc, which seems pretty cool. I'm definitely curious to check it out. Season 5 is pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably the last truly great season of Game of Thrones.
I would agree. My next pick is a Best Buy exclusive, and that is the 2001 A Space Odyssey 4K Steelbook.
Have you checked out the transfer, brother?
I haven't, but you have.
It's flawless. It looks like a modern movie. It is amazing.
Yeah, but you take it out. I've unboxed this before. If you want to look at the channel, there'll be a link somewhere. But it creates this nice little photo backdrop when you open the case. And I trust your opinion of the transfer, so of course I'm really, really glad to have this. I love 2001, and I don't know. This is probably the jewel of my month here.
Nice. Steve, your next pickup?
Next one is another 4K, the Predator trilogy.
Nice.
The original trilogy.
Yes.
The only trilogy, whatever. But I really didn't want to buy this brand new.
Yeah.
Brand spanking new. But I waited until I found a nice used copy. So looking forward to diving into the Predator trilogy. I actually haven't seen them all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces of all of them. Not sure how they've eluded me over the years, but eluded me no more.
I love the trilogy.
That makes sense.
It's good.
So, yeah, looking forward to watching the Predator films.
Next up, I've got a classic early 2000s teen horror movie, and that is Final Destination, which recently got announced that it's getting a reboot. I don't know how that's going to go, but I checked this out. Forgot how much I loved this movie. Steven and I, we've been going through our early 2000s, late 90s teen horror phase, so I've just been revisiting a lot of these movies and having a lot of fun. This movie is completely ridiculous, and I love Devon Sawa in it, given the performance of a lifetime. So that was an easy pick for me. And I will do one more since I have so many damn Blu-rays this month, and this is something I haven't got a chance to watch yet, and that is Leatherface, from the directors of Inside. So, this movie's pretty widely panned, but I'm a fan of the Texas Chainsaw franchise. I've seen every single one. Found this for dirt cheap at a used media store, so I couldn't resist. And it seems like, it might at least have some really good gore in it, so looking forward to checking that one.
My next pick is a used copy of the 4K of Black Panther with the slip, though. With the slip. And I had to perform surgery. I still haven't removed the sticker fully, but I did have to perform a little surgery on this one. And I like it.
Yeah.
I like the music, and it's different.
I wish
than the other MCU films, because you know how I feel, how we pretty much all feel about Marvel and DC movies in general, superhero movies in general. But I think Black Panther was like just different enough, and it was pretty low on like the typical Marvel cringe humor, besides the "what are those" joke that they have in there. But I think the villain is strong, and I like the African theme of the whole thing, even though it's kind of silly that they would have a fight to the death to determine the future of their super advanced technological nation. But, whatever, I like it.
And the CG is terrible.
Yeah, it's oddly, like, really, really good in some spots, and then there's just, like, a guy riding a rhino.
And the end fight scene between Killmonger and Black Panther, and it just looks like a PS2 game. But, your next pick, Steven.
Next pick is a 4K that is not available in the States.
Ooh.
But it is available overseas. But lucky enough for all of us, obviously, all 4K discs themselves are region free. So this is Shutter Island, Martin Scorsese's foray into thriller territory with some horror elements.
Great movie.
Intertwined. It really is a mind fuck. I actually haven't seen this movie in a very, very long time, so I'm looking forward to revisiting it in 4K.
I did not know you have that.
Yeah. This is actually a Christmas gift.
Nice.
So, I had to get this one shipped from across the pond, so it got here a little after Christmas, but that's okay. But like I said, can't wait to watch this in stunning 4K.
It's gotta be good.
Shutter Island. And if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. What are you waiting for? Scorsese, DiCaprio. What else do you need?
I think Mark Ruffalo is also in that movie.
He is.
Yeah. Next up for me was a pretty awesome find. I was trolling eBay, hitting some people with where they put their movies up for best offer, and I got Psycho 2: The Scream Factory with the slip. This is an older Scream Factory title, so I was really happy to get this for a great price with the slip. The slip is kind of damaged, but when I actually bought this, the Blu-ray was still sealed. Wow. So it was a sealed copy, but of course back in the day, Scream Factory didn't put the shrink wrap on the slip as well. They only put it on the actual disc, which is kind of unfortunate, but I'm happy to have any Scream Factory movie with the slip. I've never seen Psycho 2, but everyone says it's a really good follow-up. It's more along the lines of like a slasher. So, you know me.
Yeah. Well, my next one, I was on a little bit of a 4K binge. I was going crazy with the 4K deals. I found this one. I honestly don't remember where I found this one. Maybe the mom and pop shop. Yeah, sticker. And that is the 4K of the first John Wick, which I was mildly disappointed by John Wick Chapter 2. However, the first John Wick I really, really like. Yeah. I can't wait to watch the club scene in 4K. So, yeah, I mean, I really like this movie. I've seen it 2 or 3 times. Still holds up to me. And I can't wait to actually pop this in the Xbox One X.
Nice. Steve, what do you got for me? You finally whittled Mike down.
Yeah, so this is our good friend Mike's copy of Good Time that has been at my house for so long, he just decided to relinquish it to me. Of course, he's welcome to take it back anytime he wants, because, I wouldn't do that to him. But this is an A24 movie, allegedly really, really good.
It is.
Robert Pattinson kills it. I couldn't tell you why I haven't gotten around to watching it. It's just, I don't know, I'm weird. I gotta do things on my own time. I get distracted with crap like Fast and the Furious.
with the Joe Rogan experience.
Yeah.
Or playing Star Wars video games over and over again.
Alright, you know what? Been looking forward to watching this one for quite a while now. I'll get around to it. Probably around the time that you watch Trainspotting.
Yeah.
Is about the time that I watch Good Time, but should be a... Not gonna do it. Not giving it. Not doing the joke.
Next up for me is a little weird movie that I've never heard of, but I saw it at a pawn shop, and I thought it looked interesting, and that is Moonwalkers, starring Ron Perlman and Rupert Grint. This is about the moon landing conspiracy theory where Stanley Kubrick, directed the moon landing. And this just looks really interesting. This looks like a Nate and Justin movie.
Yeah.
Kind of like a weird indie style movie. So it was only $3.99. So I took a chance, and I'm curious.
That's really interesting.
I'm curious to check this movie out. It looks like it could be fun. I love me some Ron Perlman. And I'll do one more too. And that is the theatrical double feature of Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2. Now listen, those movies are not good. But the theatrical cuts are better, and the only way to get the theatrical cuts on Blu-ray, I believe, is this 2-pack. If you have the Scream Factory release, it does not include the theatrical cuts. It only has the unrated director's cuts, which are just way too long. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2.
My next pick is a Christmas present from Mike, and that is the Arrow Video release of Donnie Darko.
Ooh.
I had the collectible Blu-ray, regular standard Blu-ray, but obviously boutique. And I watched it on Blu-ray, regular Blu-ray. I haven't watched the transfer of the Arrow Video, but I liked it. It's a mystery. I still don't know what the movie is about.
No one does.
Or the mystery.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah. But I'm really excited to have my first Arrow Video, because hopefully this will inspire me to get more Arrow videos.
Oh, yeah.
Right, boys?
Oh, yeah.
The rabbit hole.
You're going to get the bug.
So, yeah. Oh, and of course, I can now say this. The Arrow Video with the reversible packaging, with the original art, and then the new Arrow Video art. So boutique and very artistic.
This guy.
Fuck. Now I gotta put it back in.
He's new at this.
I'm keeping this in. That was a good struggle. That was like the Bucky struggle.
It's not like I've ever done that to a regular Blu-ray. Art card. Fucking cheap Arrow Video cases, of course. There we go. Donnie Darko.
Steve, your next pick.
Next one is another recent discovery, but I fell in love with it immediately, and that is Hackers. This is the 88 Films release. Please go watch the link right here. Please go watch it and give it a like.
A criminally underviewed video.
This is 88 Films, just released this last year. Have not watched this version yet. There isn't an updated transfer, but that's okay. It comes with this exclusive slip, and then you've got the OG artwork there, and it also comes with a poster in there, which you can see in full if you click that link. Please click the link.
I was gonna say, don't give it all away.
Oh,
You want the people to click on the video.
Yeah. I go into detail. We talk about maybe other companies that have released it in the U.S. Yeah, here we go with the...
You're literally gonna break the seal off today.
Well,
jeez.
There we go. Did it from the top.
Two in a row.
An amazing movie.
Next up is a gift from my wonderful girlfriend. This was a Christmas gift, and that is Only God Forgives. Great movie. Great movie. Nicholas Winding Refn. Ryan Gosling. Take it off! This movie is notoriously shit on for whatever reason, because
It's probably not enough dialogue.
yeah, there's barely any dialogue. It's definitely a very visual movie.
People criticize Drive for not having enough dialogue.
Oh, if they didn't like Drive, then they're gonna hate.
Only God Forgives has like a paragraph of dialogue, and that's it. Everything else is completely visual, but it's a great visual movie. Nicholas Winding Refn definitely knows how to make a visual film.
True. My next pick is another Christmas present from Mike, and this is the Criterion of Moonrise Kingdom. of course, from Wes Anderson. I really like this set, even though I've never seen the movie. Oh, I like that little bit of yellow you get in there.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
There's, you know, photos of the cast and everything. Comes with like a map and like...
As is tradition.
Yep. All the Wes Anderson movies have some sort of map or...
A map, there's a
poster.
postcard, there's a Indian corn booklet, the Blu-ray itself. It's a really interesting set, and I've been getting into more Wes Anderson films lately, so of course this is an essential.
It's a great movie.
Moonrise Kingdom.
Steven, your next pick.
Next one was a Christmas gift from Old Nady Boy. And that is Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. Not too many features on this one. It's pretty bare bones, but nonetheless happy to have it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's not technically a collector's edition.
Right. Have not seen the second one. Haven't seen past the first one. The first one's obviously a classic.
Great movie.
So I flipped the artwork. It does have a reversible artwork, which most of the non-collector's editions don't, but that is the Shout Factory, Scream Factory art there. I flipped it over to this side for a little menacing Tony Todd eye poking through a honeycomb there.
Nice.
So, yeah, Candyman 2.
Next up for me is another gift from my girlfriend, and that is Night of the Living Dead, the 1990 remake directed by Tom Savini. This is the Umbrella Entertainment release, which says it's Region B, but it's actually not. It's region free. This is getting, or already has gotten, a US Blu-ray, so it doesn't really matter, but this version is a little bit cheaper on Amazon. Great movie. I love the remake. Tony Todd is in it. Absolutely fantastic. And I would even go so far as to say that I actually prefer the remake to the original.
And my next pick is a Christmas present from Nate. Nate, old boy. And, surprise, it's another Criterion. This is following the last Christopher Nolan film I needed to complete his filmography, and I really, really hope this is similar to Memento, because I saw like a small trailer for it a long time ago, and I know this is in black and white, and I know it has to deal with time. What a surprise. But
Christopher Nolan and movies about time?
Yeah. But Memento kind of had the thing where some shots were in color and some shots were in black and white to differentiate between the two time sets. So I'm really curious to check this one out. Really excited. And of course got the Criterion. Comes with a little booklet and visually pleasing art on the inside. So very glad to have following.
Steve, your next pick.
Next one is my first ever Vinegar Syndrome purchase, and that is of Ice Cream Man.
Yes.
The famed slasher that has Opie Taylor's brother in it, starring. And it has a new 2K scan. It's got some nice special features on it. So.
Ooh, the special edition cracked as fuck Blu-ray.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to blame myself for this. I got it from a store, and it wasn't broken like this, but I got it home, and I opened it up, and it literally just, like, fell apart, and now it's halved.
Holy shit.
It's in half.
I didn't even know about that.
And it does have reversible art. I don't know if I reversed it or not, but, you know, good as new.
Literally cracked in half.
Yeah, it's in half, so... Will I ever get a replacement case? Probably not. But yeah, looking forward to having a lot of fun with this one. This is region free too. So you guys over the pond can enjoy this release as well. I don't know how hard it is for UK peeps or Europe peeps to get Vinegar Syndrome titles, but Ice Cream Man, Clint Howard.
Next up for me is a recent Scream Factory with the slip, and that is Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Not a whole lot of chainsaw massacring in this movie, but instead of that, you get absolutely batshit crazy Matthew McConaughey going insane the entire movie. I did watch the unrated cut, which has standard definition inserts, and I'm going to say it. pretty disappointed in the overall transfer of this movie. The HD transfer, I feel like, left a lot to be desired. Seems like, you know, I don't want to say much, but I feel like maybe Scream Factory phoned it in a little bit with this one.
My next pick is a Christmas present from Buck.
Uncle Buck.
That is the 4K of Hacksaw Ridge with the slip. Ooh, I love the 4K slips. I love how it's like...
It's got that little
cut
cutout.
off. Yeah. But I really, really like this film. Andrew Garfield. I honestly think it's one of my favorite war films, directed by Mel Gibson.
Ooh.
But besides being directed by Mel Gibson, this is a great movie. I really, really like it. It shows... I feel like there's not enough movies about the Pacific side of things.
Yeah.
The Japanese Empire and the Americans and all, you know, all the other guys.
Steve, your next pick.
Next one was a gift from Mike.
Oh.
And this is the Arrow video release of Blood Rage.
AKA Slasher.
Yeah, AKA probably like 80 other things.
Yeah.
But this movie is absolutely ridiculous. If you haven't watched it, you're a fan of slashers, fan of horror, it's an essential watch. You'll never think of Thanksgiving the same way ever again. And of course, I'm not going to bother flipping it over, but it does have the original artwork. Also, on the flip side of this is the new Arrow version. I kind of like the new Arrow artwork on it as well, because it really looks like it could have been the original.
Yeah. Arrow usually does
well.
pretty good with their newly commissioned art.
Yeah, and this has a 2K restoration. And it does. I have watched this version of it, and with the restoration, it looks really good. Some great gore in this movie for the budget that they were working with. You could obviously tell that there was not a lot there, but they made the best of it. Yeah,
and it's not cranberry sauce.
Oof, don't you forget it either. No, they make sure you don't forget it.
The writer wrote that line and was like, "Man, it's so good."
So, yeah, Blood Rage. Great movie, fun time.
Next up for me is a family video purchase, and this is something I picked up because Justin has recommended it to me. It's not the 4K, but it is the standard Blu-ray of Logan Lucky. Have not got a chance to check this movie out. Who directed this? But it is directed by Steven Soderbergh, so that is pretty interesting. You love Magic Mike.
I do love Magic Mike.
This has a great cast. Daniel Craig, Adam Driver, Channing Tatum. I saw bits and pieces of this movie, but I never watched it all the way through, and it looked like a lot of fun, so I'm very happy to add that to my collection. Sorry, Steven. Your next pickup.
My next pickup is a banger.
Ooh.
Game of Thrones Season 1 on 4K from Disc Replay with the little slip.
And I recently watched all of Season 1 on 4K, and I can say that it looks beautiful.
Very, very nice. Love Season 1. Love the finale of Episode 9.
Yes. Heartbreaking. Shocking.
Yeah. Wouldn't say I love it, but it's effective.
Yeah, I
accept.
I wish, Seasons 6 and 7 would be on the same par as Seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Next one is another Arrow, and that is Maniac Cop. This is a, let's see, it was directed by William Lustig, but it is a Larry Cohen film, if you're familiar with some of his other stuff. He did the It's Alive, the first one at least.
The Stuff.
Larry Cohen, Bruce Campbell, Tom Atkins. I don't care what's happening in the movie, I'm going to watch it.
I'm in.
So I actually did watch this one. It has a 2K restoration. The restoration looks really good. And it's not the best movie ever. I like the movie a lot. I think it's good. But it wasn't as zany as I was hoping it was going to be. But definitely an interesting concept. It's more of a straightforward cop drama.
Weird.
Yeah, but it's good. I also own Maniac Cop 2. So looking forward to watching the second one. Hopefully it's a little bit more wacky. But Maniac Cop.
Nice. Justin, we actually have a double, brother. We didn't even realize it.
Oh.
We both recently finally picked up Disaster Artist. But Justin has the slip. But who paid less? A pretty funny movie.
Yeah, A24. I really like the message behind it, because we don't create movies necessarily. I mean, hopefully we'll create our short film
someday.
But I still found it relatable that it was sad when everyone just treated the movie like a joke, because it kind of does really suck when you put so much effort into creating something and then people don't like it and they dislike it and they comment negative things about us. JK, I don't care about any of that, but yeah, really glad to have this A24 film.
Steve, your final pick?
The final pick is one from across the pond. This is a Region B release, and that is of Dark Blue, starring Kurt Russell. It's a movie that takes place during the LA riots, and this actually does have a Region A release, not on Arrow, just a basic release, but I gotta have that Arrow.
Oh!
And this is actually the reversed art. This isn't the Arrow art. This must be how the UK art looked like, because this definitely isn't the US art. It's over here. I'll actually, and I did end up getting the first pressing of this release that comes with the nice little booklet there. And I'll flip this artwork over to the Arrow artwork, which I like a lot as well. But just because I'd never seen that UK art before, and I think it looks pretty good, I had it on the flipped around the other way. But this is the Arrow artwork, which is really awesome as well. There's no updated transfer of this movie, which is all right, but there is a boatload of special features. So I remember watching this movie like as a kid, probably not one I should have watched as a kid, but I remember it being really good. So decided to pick this one up.
Nice.
Had it shipped over to the good old US of A, and that is my final pick of December.
Nice. So Nate and I, we both have two more things.
Yep. Next up from me is a brand new Arrow Video limited edition, and that is Crimson Peak, the Guillermo del Toro film. Infamously mismarketed, one of those classic examples where it's marketed as a horror movie, but guess what? It's not a horror movie.
Yeah.
Really like this movie. Love Guillermo del Toro films. This was an easy pickup for me. Definitely enjoyed Crimson Peak a lot. If you want to see an unboxing video, it's right up there. Justin, your next pickup.
My next pick is a Blu-ray with the slip from Best Buy. Pokemon the movie, I Choose You. I've never seen this before. I barely know what it is. I think it's a remake of the first few episodes of Indigo League put into a film format. However, I was with a friend who is notorious for not spending a lot on Blu-rays. He's more of a $3.99er type of guy. So when he decided to actually pick this up, I was like, Brendan, that's $12.
Is that the movie where Pikachu talks at the end?
I've never seen it.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know which
he
one.
He talks
that
in
is.
the new live action one.
Yeah, I know, but anyways.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I was in such a happy mood that he was spending so much. I'll buy it. I'll buy it too. But I've never seen it. But I do like Pokemon, so curious to check that out. It's critically panned. I remember showing it at the theater, but whatever.
Oh, so that is the more recent one?
Yeah, that's the newest one.
Yeah, I think that is the one I'm thinking of.
Dang. Next up for me is the rarest Arrow video of recent memory, and that is the limited edition of Django.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Classic spaghetti western. Of course, this is where Quentin Tarantino got most of the inspiration for Django Unchained. Easily, even though I'm not huge into westerns, easily this is one of my favorite westerns. And of course, if you know the controversy behind this, you'd know that this is rare AF now. But I'm not flipping this shit because I'm not a scumbag scalper, and I actually love and watch the movies I own. And this was easily an easy pickup for me. My only regret now is that I wish I would have got the Steelbook too. Justin, your final pickup of the month, and it's a banger.
Okay, it's a 4K.
I'm gonna take you to court, bro.
It's a 4K, but I found it at Disc Replay for really, really cheap. And I just had to get it because it's an episodic installment in Star Wars, and you have to watch it to understand the continuity to what is going to be Episode 9. So I have Star Wars The Last Jedi on 4K without the slip because this movie doesn't deserve to have the slip. If it came with the slip, I'd tear it in half. As most of you know, I think all of us hate this movie.
I wouldn't say I hate it. I just think it's fine.
I heavily dislike this film. So all the good things that this movie had have all been ruined. And I mean, I would eventually found that out by myself. It's just I only saw it twice in theaters. But didn't like it when it came out. Didn't like it the second time watching it in the theaters. I guess we'll have to find out if I like it 1 year later.
We're never making that video.
It's already been a year.
We're making that video.
It's been a year and a month now at this point. So those were our Blu-ray pickups for the month of December. What did you pick up last month? Let us know in the comments down below. Of course, if you enjoyed this Blu-ray update, don't forget to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you are new. We're always doing Blu-ray updates, Blu-ray unboxings. We're also always talking about action figures if you're into that sort of thing.
We do a movie review every once in a while.
Every once in a while. We always say, you know, we should get back to doing that.
We like to sprinkle them in.
And then we don't. Of course, I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And Steven.
Take care.
And we will see you guys next time on Out of the Basement.